Welcome to Midlife Schmidlife, the online community for listeners who want to redefine the middle years and recreate their lives lived to the fullest. Join our host, Liz Applegate, as she interviews guests over the age of 40 who are turning their maybe somedays into today and going after their dreams. Let's get the party started.
Hey, Schmidlifers, welcome to episode 10 of the Midlife Schmidlife podcast. I'm your host, Liz Applegate, your transitional life coach, helping women redefine the middle years and recreate a life filled with passion and purpose. I want to welcome all the new Midlife Schmidlife listeners, and I'm actually physically waving hello to all my returning listeners as well. I really appreciate all the love being shared by you in the iTunes reviews and ratings. And if you haven't yet left a review and ratings, please head over there. It actually really does help share the Midlife Schmidlife message. So I know that this is back to school time, and I also know that many of you are sending your kids off to college for the very first time. And believe me when I say that I know what it feels like and that I've been there. I have my own stories of lots of tears. And I also realize that this is such a mixed bag of emotions. It ranges from extreme pride to extreme sadness, and then with a little bit of worry and fear, or a lot of worry and fear, swirled in there for good measure. I really want to give you permission to honor your feelings at this time and give yourself what you need. So I want to repeat that again. I want to give you permission to honor your feelings and in giving yourself what you need. No self-judging is allowed. This is something that we know that's coming, but it always seems so far away. And then when it hits, sometimes we're not prepared. And I just want to offer too that if you need an understanding ear and really want someone who has been there and has done that and understands, go to midlifeschmidlife.com and sign up for one of my 30-minute complimentary calls. This is a no-pitch call, and I just want to get to know you, hear what you're going through, and hopefully I can share some of my stories with you to help you feel better and just know that you aren't alone in this time. Before I introduce you to today's guest, I want to tell you about my upcoming Toolbox series that will be starting in September. I will be bringing experts to give their advice around focus areas of health, style, career and business, self-care, and relationships. I am so excited about this new series, and I invite you to share this information with friends and also head over to midlifeschmidlife.com to opt in to get special insiders tips from this series. I've been dreaming of this and putting this together, and I'm just so excited. So I really want you to get the most out of that. So be sure to sign up at the homepage for the special insiders tips. Today's guest is Maria Allyn. Now, Maria is also a life coach who works with women in midlife. And just like last week's episode when I spoke with Shirley Weir from MenopauseChicks.com, I just love being able to have conversations with like-minded women helping other women during this time in our life. Maria shares about her own midlife tada and how she uses her own experiences to help others. We really we have the open conversation about being our authentic selves and following a path that leads to fullness. We also touch on parenting adult children, and we share about our own experiences in self-medicating and zoning out from our lives. Now, all the links to connect with Maria can be found on the show notes at midlifeschmidlife.com/Maria. This is such a great conversation, so let's head over and I will introduce you to my guest. Hello, Schmidlifers. This is Liz Applegate here, and I am here today with my guest, Maria Allyn. Now, Maria is a proud Air Force brat who attended high school in Germany while traveling extensively through Europe with her family. She credits that priceless education for enhancing her innate ability to connect soul to soul. Now, after high school, she studied fashion marketing at the American College in London, England. And then when she returned to the United States, she obtained her bachelor's degree in communication and later her teaching certificate. And then at age 46, she obtained her master's degree in organizational psychology and leadership from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. She's married, the mother of three feisty girls, and she feels she is a midlife coach just like me. And I'm so excited to have this conversation with her. And yeah, Maria, thanks for joining me on the
Oh,
show.
Liz, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I am too. We shared a little bit before we started recording for the episode about how it's so great to have this conversation with another midlife
Oh, it
coach. And
is.
yeah, I just love talking to other people who have the same passion.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm just really excited. So I gave a just a little synopsis of you, but you are a well-traveled and well-educated woman. Is there anything else you wanted to fill in with all that?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I tell you, if I could say one thing about all the places I've been and the people I've met, and boy, I sound like I'm doing a commercial or something. But I would certainly say that it's all prepared me to be a midlife coach. It's enabled me to take all of these experiences and give back to women who need my help.
Yeah. And why do you think this is a prime opportunity where we are searching for help?
Yeah, yeah. I think that midlife, even though society may see it as a negative thing, it really is a time of awakening. I mean,
Mm,
we don't really have to worry about having kids anymore. We
right.
are more financially stable. We've learned a lot of our life lessons, and we are starting to question our legacy. We
Mhm.
realize that we have lived decades and that we have only a certain amount of decades left. And I think we really are ready to make a mark on the world. And so
Mhm.
that starts brewing this feeling of much needed transformation. So I think
Right.
that's why when we enter this midlife stage, we start questioning and
Mhm.
start going on different journeys.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I
Mhm.
agree with that. Totally. Totally. And I know that you and I talked about it, but it's such an eye-opening experience to go through it.
Mhm.
I don't think it's people really understand it until they reach this time in their life.
Well, I don't think it's for the faint of heart. And and I think that you
No
get to a
kidding.
crossroad and you either go to the right skipping, and giving
Mhm.
yourself permission to go for it, or you stay stuck and
Yeah.
you continue to live in the past and you continue to just not be able to feel that there is a spark. So I
Right.
think midlife really puts you in one direction or the other.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And we wanna go toward the spark, but often I think sometimes, like you said, we can stay stuck and not really knowing how to get there because we've been
True.
giving and caring for so many other people for so long.
Absolutely. We've been serving for decades. We really
Right.
have, and it becomes our default. I mean, that is
Mhm.
just what we do. And I say to my clients that, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? And for the life of them, they have to chuckle because they don't know. But they can certainly
Exactly.
tell you their husbands and their children. I
Right.
mean, we lose
Right.
ourselves when we are in the role of building a home and mothering and all of that, and it can be hard sometimes to dig in there and find out who this person really is and what does she really want to do.
Right. So, I didn't mention in my introduction to you, but can you tell me what I'm calling your midlife ta-da? What is your midlife ta-da? Other than getting a master's degree,
Oh,
which is amazing, and being a midlife coach, what would you say your midlife ta-da
oh,
is?
I love that question. And I will say that getting my master's gave me such a sense of accomplishment. So that's way up there. I
Mhm.
think my midlife ta-da would be the fact that I finally started giving myself permission to do what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
And regardless of what the shoulds and shouldn't be of a midlife woman,
Right.
regardless of if I shouldn't wear stripes or shouldn't wear plaid or red or whatever,
Yes.
I was doing what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
And that gave me a sense of freedom and a sense of excitement just to be able to to chart my own path. So that
Right.
would be my ta-da, just a realization that I don't need permission from anybody but myself.
So how did you come to that? I mean, is that how you've always been, or is that just something that you just realized, hey, it's kind of now or never and
Ah,
it's time to step up?
I tell you, Liz, it's been such a long journey. And I look at the woman I am now and the woman I was previously, and there's no comparison.
Mm,
I remember 40 being a 30 something year old woman. I'm just picturing myself here
right.
who woke up every morning and dreaded it.
Mhm.
I was living a shell of a life. And I knew intuitively that I was not living fully. And therefore, I had a battle inside myself.
Mhm.
Um, Half of the battle was a dark cloud, which said, this isn't working, Maria. You're not happy. And the other part of the battle was fulfilling a role that I truly believe that I had to fulfill. And that was to put my needs on the back burner and to, be grateful for what I had and stop complaining and stop wanting
Right.
more and so on and so forth. And it came to a point where I just knew that I had to do something or else I just really was going to lose myself. And
Mhm.
I started taking baby steps. And
Yeah.
little by little by little, I started reaching out and experiencing different things. Whenever I felt a butterfly in my stomach, I took that as a clue that, that's the book I need to grab from the shelf, or,
Mm.
that's the trip I need to take or the course I need to take. And I started being guided by my intuition, which talked to me through the butterflies in my stomach.
Right, right.
And the more I trusted that and the more steps I took, I started building momentum and
Mhm.
started to really realize the power that I had to just craft my own life.
Right.
And it took a lot just to get rid of the mean girl voices in my head that were saying, what are you doing? People aren't going to
Mhm.
like you. They're going to get mad. And just a
Yeah.
series of just putting myself first. But it was quite a journey. It was a long journey.
It is. It is a long journey, and it's a continued
Oh, it
journey. It's
is.
not like right, it's not like we get to this point and we think, "Okay, I'm
I'm
done."
fixed. Yeah.
Right. So, was that part of your journey, what that you were talking about, these little steps that you were taking, is that what led you to get your master's
It
degree in
absolutely
organizational
was. It
psychology? Yeah.
absolutely was. I had always wanted to get my master's, but I had convinced myself that it was selfish to take money out of the household. It was selfish to not be home with the kids, even though my kids were getting older and, have a meal prepared. I had convinced myself that anything that would um, allow me to pursue some sense of gratification was being selfish.
Mm,
I also knew that any sort of growth would probably cause me to leave my marriage. And I think that's one of the
mm,
reasons, too, why I stayed small because I didn't want to rock that marriage boat.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah. And that was also part of my journey, was leaving a marriage that just wasn't working,
Mhm.
and becoming my own partner.
Mm.
Yeah, becoming my own partner. So it was that's what led me. That's what led me to moving forward and getting that degree that I always wanted.
I Okay, so I am just that phrase you use, becoming my own
Mhm.
partner. I just wrote that
Oh,
down and put it in
good,
quotes.
good, good. Yeah, yeah. And I think
And
it's so powerful because the meaning is so powerful. You
right.
know? Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it is a really good one. Why do you feel like it's important to become our own partner, even if we don't leave a
Oh, sure.
marriage? Why do you feel like that's important?
hmm I think that for myself, I came to realize that the world is filled with so many distractions. We have social media, we have, the senseless chatter, we have all of these distractions that
Mhm.
really don't allow us to listen to what we really want. And these distractions sway us. What does society think we should do? What was I raised to do? What did the generations before me do? And I think that it really takes focusing on partnering with your thoughts um, to move forward, because
Mhm.
without that, the distractions and the noise just they don't allow you to think.
Right.
And so I think partnering with yourself is really the only way to distract and use your intuition as your guide and not the
Mm.
outside forces.
Yeah. So you got your master's degree at 46. And so then at what point did you decide that you wanted to become a life
Right
coach?
away.
Right away?
Yeah, right away. Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew that I was put here to do something. And I knew
Mhm.
that I had a gift that needed to be shared. And it's why I'm here to share this gift. And I didn't want midlife women to suffer needlessly and to reach for that next prescription or to isolate themselves or to think that they were going crazy or to feel that they had no options. And
Right.
being a midlife coach really allowed me to work with women and guide them on their journey. And I really think that I get as much out of the sessions as my clients do. I mean, what a
Mhm.
gift to be able to be trusted enough to go into somebody's passion and desire, and it's just an incredible job to have. And
It
I think if
is.
I hadn't gone through, the years of struggle, I would not be good at what I do.
Right, and you and I had talked about that as well, about how you really have to go through it and be in
Mm,
it to understand it.
yeah.
And as I was, hitting 40 and just all the changes and all the oh my gosh, I told someone yesterday that I felt like the rug was being
Oh
pulled
yeah.
out from under me.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
soon as I would recover,
Yeah.
there would be another one, and I really that is what encouraged me as well because I thought, "Wow, I wish I would have had someone that I could turn to or reach out to or to feel like I'm not so alone," because I did feel really
Oh,
alone.
absolutely. And I found myself surrounded by people who weren't authentic because I wasn't authentic. And I had
Right,
attracted that tribe. And the women that I surrounded myself with did not fuel me in a supportive, non judgmental way. And
right,
so the only way that I would be able to find that sort of relationship with another friend or community was to be the person that I wanted to befriend. And that meant taking off that mask and stop smiling when you don't want to smile and saying no when you felt the need to say no. Um, but coming into your own comes with some repercussions. Not everybody likes that.
right.
And so, like I said before, it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah.
Yeah. So what were some reactions where people didn't like it?
Yeah. Well, there's so many generational habits that have been passed down. One in my family has been, boy, I remember being a little girl and just listening as my mom and aunts talked about their husbands and how
Mm,
they were good for nothing and, they couldn't keep a job. And
yeah.
of course, they stayed with them because that you just carry your burden, and you
Mhm.
just, you have this no good man. And
Right.
growing up with that, that was the voice in my head that I heard about marriage. And when I did decide to divorce and started that process, the family really rebelled. I mean, they knew I was unhappy, but we didn't
Mhm.
divorce in my family. I mean, you stayed there and you stuck it out.
Right.
And that was a huge speed bump that I had to go over and just feel the bump and just keep on going. Yeah,
Right.
that was a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah, it is tough. I've been
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
understand. And I have to, think though, really what a model of courage and that you are for your daughters. I mean, you know, we want the best for our
I
children,
tell
and
you,
so
I
yeah.
they are um, my beacons. I mean, I want them to know that they possess everything they need. And
Mhm.
that stays in my mind because I know that my girls, they hear everything, they watch me, and they may be rolling their eyes at the time, but it's
Right.
still getting in there. And I am the biggest factor, in their lives in terms of teaching them, a woman's role, a woman's um, her barriers and all of that. And I wanted to let them know that I didn't want them to have what I had. I wanted more for them. And so
Right.
they are, and still to this day, are the catalyst for me to just do the best I can.
There is a sentence when you reached out to me to be a podcast guest, which
Hmm.
I am so glad that you did. Um, you said there's an epidemic of women
Mhm.
suffering,
Mhm.
thinking that they are going crazy and self-medicating.
Mhm.
Can you speak more into that?
Oh, I certainly can. As my body started telling me that change needed to take place. And that came in the form of depression. It came in the form of joint pain. And so many symptoms hit me. And it was the universe saying, you got to do something, and we're going to make it
Right.
uncomfortable for you until you do. But I remember visiting doctor after doctor looking for a cure. And I was put on antidepressants,
Mm,
anti-anxiety medicine, I mean, just everything. Diagnosed with everything from fibromyalgia, tested for lupus, and the list goes on and on and on. But looking back, I realized that the doctors were very quick to give me a prescription.
mhm.
And and I think that's happening to a lot of women. And I'm not saying that prescriptions aren't valid because there are times when you do need to lift that
Sh-
cloud and they
Right, right.
are they just save your life, but a lot of times it is just your inner being just crying out for something.
Mhm.
And I just want women to know that a prescription isn't the end all be all, that maybe there's a life coach that can help you see another way.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, and take a different path.
Mhm. Right, and that is yeah.
Yeah.
Our stories are so
Oh
familiar,
yeah.
so I can really understand the
Mm.
f I'm using the word funny. I was
Mhm.
gonna say the funny thing about my story, and it's not really very funny, but, um, the part about my story that's a little bit different is that I was seeking help because I thought something was wrong with
Mhm.
me,
Mhm.
and I was being led to believe that the problems in my marriage were because of
Mhm.
me, and, so I was put on a lot of
Ah,
anti-anxiety and
yeah.
anti-depression, and I was a walking
Oh, I
zombie is
know, me too.
yeah, what it turned out
Mhm.
being, and, I'll never forget watching a movie, and this is because I'm an easy crier.
Yeah, I am
I
too.
c Yeah, but I don't think that that's a bad thing, but, now I don't. At 50 years old, I don't. But, I remember watching a movie, and I remember thinking, "I should be crying at this moment, and I don't feel anything."
Mhm.
And that was the decision that I had, that, "Okay, I'm not even myself anymore, and I need to be
Oh,
myself."
I love that. I love that. And to become, and we do it. I mean, there's so many of us who do it, who just completely numb out. And before
Right.
you know it, a week has gone by, another year has gone by, another year, and just your life is just rolling along without you.
Mhm.
Um, and it really is something you mentioned in terms of being in a marriage and feeling responsible and it was your fault and all that. And I think a lot of times part of the difficulty in making a journey that empowers you is that we do feel the responsibility for the marriage, for, fixing the adult children, for, so many
Right.
things.
Mhm.
And instead of feeling that responsibility towards ourselves. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we put the responsibility of ourselves at the end of that whole
Mhm.
list. And, for some reason in midlife
Mhm.
is when we start really questioning that. I think that's a great thing. Like you mentioned at the beginning, it's such a time for opening and
Mhm.
realization. I think a lot of it has to do as well with the kids growing up and moving on their own, and then you're kind of left with, "Oh, well, who am I
And who
now?"
are you?
Right,
What's your name
right.
again? Yeah.
Yeah, which is a very can be a very low moment. I'm not trying to make light of it
Mhm.
because it can be a very, very low moment. I wanna go back to something that we were talking about, medicating and self-medicating, and something I wanna point out too for our listeners is this doesn't have to be prescription medication.
Mhm.
It can be vegging out on Netflix
Oh,
or,
Liz, I
uh
tell you, I would not miss Maury, and all of my
Right.
day was getting the kids on the school bus and then either laying in bed or laying on the sofa and just numbing. It
Mhm.
can be alcohol, it can be, yeah, Netflix. Oh, that's such a good point. You're right. It doesn't have to be a prescription. That's good.
Yeah, food, I mean,
Mhm,
there's just the list is endless, and
mhm.
it's, something that I've noticed lately and something that most of my followers know about me is I do love a good glass of red wine, but it is such it's kind of a kitschy thing now to be a wine drinker and make fun of it. And, I'm not a stick in the mud, so I wanna, preface that with this conversation. I'm not at all. But I've just noticed how it's kind of the end thing now, mommy's drinking wine, and, I just wonder what kind of message that sends, you
And
know?
it really is the sort of statement that's made, and then you do the ha 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 behind it, because
Right.
it's almost saying this job as a mommy is just it's just so unbearable that I have to drink to get through the day.
Right.
you know,
Right.
but it's almost a comical. I see it. I see it a lot on Facebook. I see it,
Mhm.
on social media where it really is a gag. The whole
Right.
drinking mother thing. But I think
Right.
you're right. What is that saying? It's saying that you have to fortify yourself with something to get through raising kids,
Right.
or being at that time
Exactly,
of your life.
exactly. Which, yeah, it's a tough job. I mean, it's a really tough
Sure,
job,
yeah, but
but
there are ways of making it tougher. Yeah,
exactly, and that is one way that absolutely does
yeah,
that. So, when you're
absolutely,
when it's
absolutely it does.
irresponsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, so I just wanted to kinda speak into that a
Mhm,
little bit
mhm.
because I think it is important to kind of pay attention to why we are doing things, and I'm at the tail end of doing a Whole30 program right now.
Oh, good for you. Oh,
Which
good.
is yeah, it's been eye-opening, and I had lunch today with a friend, and she asked me, "What has been the hardest for you
Mm,
to not have?" And I told her, I said, "What's been interesting more than, my choices of me missing having that glass of wine
mhm,
or having that piece of pizza is really looking at why I was partaking in
mhm.
things." And that's been kind of an interesting place to
I
go.
love
So,
that. I love that. And it's almost your reward for putting up with that dang day. Just
right.
get through this. You've got the bottle in the fridge.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. It's your
And
reward.
I've been guilty of that.
Oh, me too. Oh, absolutely. Me too. Me too. And there are millions, out there who can relate to the same thing. And a lot of your listeners, I'm sure, are shaking their heads and saying, "Yep,
Yeah.
yep, very
Yeah.
easy." It's a slippery slope. It really is.
Very
Hmm.
slippery. So as you started this process of discovering who you were and taking these small baby steps, is there anything that you wish you would have done differently?
Oh my. And you know what's awesome, Liz? I've done a lot of podcasts, and that's the second question you've asked me that I've never been asked before. So that's kind of cool. You're
Well,
stretching me.
I just like to
Yeah,
stretch
I
my
like
guests.
that. Um,
And definitely we can come back to it. I mean, it's one of those easy things that, I had a guest who said, actually no, because she realizes even the mistakes that she made were moving her to the right direction. And it's so true,
yeah, yeah. And you know what? I'm glad that you gave me a little chance to think there because I did think of something that I wish I would have done differently. I wish that when I had gone through my divorce, that I could have been more of an adult and less of a child. I think the
Mm,
behavior that my ex and I had towards each other, looking back, was just cruel to not only ourselves but to those who were in the tornado, and that
right.
includes children. So if I
Hmm.
could do anything again, it would have been to be a better ex.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah, that I
yeah.
regret.
How do you think that helps shape you now?
Well, I'm remarried,
Hmm.
and I do believe that my divorce let me know exactly what I did and did not want in a partner.
Mm, yeah.
And it also let me know that I'd been entwined in this relationship for decades. And so I needed to take some time just to breathe and get comfortable with Maria. And so
Hmm.
I allowed myself time to just get back on track and be comfortable in my own skin before anybody else became, part
Right.
of my life. So I
Mm,
think that was a good thing.
yeah. Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, how old were you when you remarried?
I was no, I don't mind at all. No,
It's midlife schmidlife, so I
no,
always have to.
I have to say it. I was 35
Hmm.
when I remarried. Was I 35? Yeah, and I had my last child at 39.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, 35.
Yeah.
35.
Yeah.
And you know what? It sounds like I'm just an old, miser, just an old fart, but oh, if we could just wait until we're in our 30s to take that leap.
Exactly.
The person that I morphed into from a young teenage girl, until
Yeah.
this woman, uh, we're miles apart. And oh, I think we just jump into that quickly.
I know, and
Mm,
I'm so surprised now. I'm not sure how old I mean, one you just had at 39, but my kids now are 24, 20. I can't even remember
Oh,
how
I,
old they
I
are.
can't remember their names half the time.
24. Oh, I know, me too. 24, 22, and almost 21. I have 3 boys.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah,
Mm,
and I'm just so surprised at my now the youngest 2 are still in college,
mhm,
but my oldest, he had friends that were graduating college and then getting married, and I was just
mhm,
thinking, "Oh my
mhm.
gosh, don't do it. Don't, you know.
Yeah, and I know I heard that same refrain, "Don't do it, don't do it," but of course,
Right.
I was in love,
Well,
and so
sure.
love, that's all I needed. But yeah, I think back, it's amazing how you can look back and, you just wanna run up and shake people and say, "No, please don't. Hold on
Right.
for a bit." But they have
Right.
their own life lessons to learn.
Yes, they do.
Mm.
Yes, they do. And as a mother, that is very hard.
Oh, it's so hard. And it's hard being a parent to adult children too.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
one thing that I've had to do is just to, I guess, renegotiate the relationship,
Mhm.
and respect their boundaries and, let them make their mistakes. I mean, it's difficult being a mom of a grown up.
It is. It is, and it's one of those things that I don't again, going through it, you have there's no way you could tell someone of a child who's 4
Mhm.
that them worrying about their children eating
Oh,
vegetables
yeah,
is the least of their worries, right?
absolutely. Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
and
yeah. Just really, that will not matter. You're absolutely right.
right, and watching your kids make choices and hoping they're not.
So hard.
I know,
So
it
hard.
is so
It
hard. I can't
is.
tell you
It
how many
is.
sleepless nights I've had.
Yeah, and the two things I tell myself, and I feel myself just, cringing and just wanting to save the day, is
Mhm.
just remembering, first of all, that my job as a mom, in my mind, is just to raise kids who are self-sufficient, successful, and happy, and it's their lives. It's not my life. And I always wanted to be the type of mom that was welcome. I didn't want to be the type of mom where I would call and they would roll their eyes and feel forced to talk to me. I wanted them to want me in their lives, and I knew that to
Yeah,
do that, I really had to respect them.
yeah. That's something that's been very important to
Mhm,
me too, and I see parents who may have, maybe teenagers who are going through that
mhm.
time when they're trying to stretch their
Oh,
wings,
Lord,
and the
yes.
parents are trying to just grasp on so tight, and it's creating such,
Mhm,
such strife, and, again, I wish I could just say, and I do, I try to encourage them to
mhm.
just, for one, remember what it's like. Remember what it was like when you were that
Yeah,
age,
yeah.
which sometimes is not always a good thing to
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, that's true.
Right, but to remember to be respectful, that's if you want people to respect you, even your children, you need to respect them, and it's just a kind of a symbiotic
Mhm,
thing, and
mhm. I
yeah.
think a lot of times too, when we rush in to save the day, we don't allow our children to build that saving muscle.
Mhm.
They become inadequate, in terms of surviving and coping because they don't have to, you
Right.
know? So,
True.
but God, it's so hard. It's
It is
hard.
hard. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the glass of wine?
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm just kidding. Oh.
What? I catch myself laughing all the time because this is so it's funny. I mean, it's serious, but it's
Yes.
funny. I mean, just
Yes.
the irony of life cracks me up.
It is, isn't it? It's just yeah, and you have to laugh. If you don't, I mean, to me, like, if I'm not laughing at myself, then I just
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I think I spent so many years taking things so
Oh
seriously.
yeah.
And it's not that I don't take things seriously now, but I really do try to look at my mistakes or look at I don't know, just the silly things I do and just be able to laugh at
I
myself.
tell you, I spent so many years caring so deeply
Mm,
about others' reactions, about what others thought. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that, some people are going to like you, some people aren't. And that's just how it is, and it
right.
just doesn't matter, when you start aging. You
Yeah,
just really want serenity. You just want, um, to find some joy, have some excitement, and you stop letting that nonsense get in your way.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is really such a gift to be this age
Mhm.
when we can realize it, right?
I
Because,
agree.
yeah, I think we have to go through those times when we care so much and we try so hard. And, if we don't go through that, then we don't realize either what we're made of, and then
Mhm.
we also don't realize that other person's opinion or their reaction is it's not up to
Right.
us, no matter what we do.
Absolutely, it's not. It's
Mhm.
absolutely not. And, it's not up to us, and it really isn't about us. I mean, it's about their life experiences and how they're interpreting. I mean, it's just, but it takes a while to get to that point.
Yeah, it does. It does. I think giving yourself freedom, just like you did,
Mhm.
giving yourself the freedom to have an opinion and voice it
Mhm.
and do all those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. So what advice would you give another woman who was maybe is listening to this episode and feeling like their life is just, not filled with that joy or that
Mm.
spark? What advice would you give them?
Well, I think the first step would be for them to get to know themselves again. And to do that, I would ask them to please disconnect. Whether it's an hour a day or a day a week or whatever it might be, turn off the TV, turn off the
Mhm.
radio, turn off all of the distractions and the noises that don't allow you to hear your own voice. And I think to disconnect is the first step. After that, I think you need to become aware of how your body is giving you signals. If you are reading something and it involves a restaurant, and you get butterflies in your stomach, listen to
Mhm.
it's telling you something. Try it. If you're reading a catalog and you happen to come upon a certain dress or something that really calls to you, order it. Take
Mhm.
that course that the butterflies in your stomach are taking you to telling you to take. Start
Right.
listening to your body telling you and guiding you to what's going to bring you joy. And the
Mhm.
only way I think you can get to that point is you've got to just get some quiet and you
Right.
have to disconnect.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. And disconnect, I mean, when you say disconnect, I think Facebook.
Oh,
I love Facebook. I really do, but I really think that social media it doesn't serve us well during this time a lot of
yeah,
times.
and I think it's just another numbing tool, like our
Yes.
wine or like our Netflix, marathons or
Exactly.
whatever it might be. It really takes us away from thinking.
Yes. Yes. And it projects us into someone else's life,
Yeah,
and it really does disconnect us
yeah.
from
Mhm.
what we are feeling, what we are
Mm.
wanting. And often we look at other people when all they're doing is showing the best sides of their
Mhm.
life, right? You, nobody's going to post. Well, I guess some people would post this, but most people are not going to post. Wow, I've had a really crappy day, so now I'm going to drown my sorrows in a bottle of wine, right?
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of what you see really isn't the truth. I mean, you
Exactly.
see so many things about, oh, so many things about events that are happening or experiences that aren't valid, and it causes you to compare yourself and feel
Right.
inadequate because you're not flying in that private jet to
Exactly.
Dubai. It's
Right.
just it really is, it takes you out of your authentic self, it really does.
Yes. So true. Yeah. So Maria, I am going to have everything that we talked about here and over on the show notes. The listeners can find links to connect with you. The show notes will be midlifeschmidlife.com/Maria. And do you have anything coming up in the future or anything you'd like to share with the audience on ways they can connect with
Oh,
you?
I love that. My website is www.mariaallyn.com, And please go on there, take a look. There's an opportunity to get a guide to adventure that I wrote specifically for midlife women. And it's a way of just putting your toe in the water when it comes to finding adventure.
Ah,
And I'd also, Liz, like to put a link in the show notes if I could. I have a 7-day challenge for midlife women, and
yes.
it takes them slowly, baby steps, through a process of just starting to self-discover.
Hmm.
And it's been well received, and I think your listeners would really really enjoy that.
Yeah, I would love to share that
Oh,
link. So,
good, good.
yeah.
I currently have two one-on-one programs. One is an intensive, and we do that over a weekend where we really dive in to where you are in midlife, where you want to
Hmm.
go, and set a plan for you. And then I have my long-term one-on-one packages, that last a longer amount of time, where we can
Hmm.
take our time and really discuss, at the client's own pace.
Hmm.
I do have group programs. I have none that are scheduled soon, but if
Hmm.
you log on to my website and sign up for my newsletter, you'll know when my group programs will be coming out.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. And I'll have those links, like I said, in the show notes. You also have a Facebook group as
Oh,
well.
I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. It's called, and forget about everything I said about Facebook while I say
Oh,
this.
I know.
Oh, gosh. It's called Midlife Mastery.
Hmm.
Midlife Mastery slash Maria Allyn. And it's a wonderful tribe of women who are supportive and funny and just delightful women who are all about living their best life during midlife. It's a good tribe to join. So I'd love you to join. And it's only for midlife women. And so that's what we deal with,
Hmm.
in that group. So I'm
Right.
very
All
proud of
the,
it. Thank you for remembering
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm a member of that group and
Oh,
it's very
yes. Oh, good,
delightful.
good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's very
Oh,
delightful. And
good.
nobody's posting pictures of flying into Dubai and a
No, not in that one. No.
No,
So
it's all about being real
all
and so yeah,
I've
it's
been
really
real lucky with my members. I will say I did get a comment from one member who asked me to stop talking about midlife so much and could I talk about something else? And I said, well, that's my focus.
right.
Focus. So I've been
Ah,
lucky. That's the only thing that gave me pause.
that's so
But other than that,
funny.
it's been fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. And definitely I will have a link to that in the show notes so you can just click on over and ask to join and I know Maria would be
Oh, I'd love to have
happy
you.
to join. Yeah. Well, Maria, I just thank you so much for
Oh,
coming and spending this time with us and sharing just your wonderful adventures and
oh,
insights with the listeners. I really
well,
appreciate
thank you.
it.
I've really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm so glad you reached out.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for being a guest on the Midlife Schmidlife podcast. Schmidlifers, I hope that you enjoyed our conversation. And just as a reminder, ways that you can connect with Maria can be found on the show notes over at midlifeschmidlife.com/Maria. Now, I almost forgot to share that Audible is offering a free audiobook download and a trial to the Midlife Schmidlife listeners. You can go over to midlifeschmidlife.com/book for more information. And until next time, remember that you aren't alone in this midlife journey. I believe in you and your someday dreams.
Thanks for joining Liz for the Midlife Schmidlife podcast. Remember, some days are never on your calendar until you put them there. Until next time.